handling and training. This was another super interesting section. Can you imagine having all those people from all those different disciplines arguing about how to best handle and train horses, including people there from the feedlot and from the rodeo sector who have horses that are never even halter broke. So what are we going to do about this? How are we going to come up with something we can all live with? And even here, we've got some of the top trainers in the country, and they might have very different ideas about how you handle certain things and certain situations. So we decided the best way to tackle this is to go back to basic principles of animal handling and go to some of the newest behavioral science. If you train horses, if you train your own horses, if you train other people's horses, if you're employing a horse trainer, I strongly encourage you to take a look at this section. There is some really fascinating new information in there about how horses learn. And if you're ever dealing with a new trainer, and sometimes as horsemen, there's the new flavor of the month horse trainer around, and we're all thinking that this is the latest, greatest thing. Anybody that's training horses effectively, their methods should always match with the current understood behaving principles of animal behavior and animal training. So if you have a question about a horse trainer and you're wondering about their methods, take a look at those basic principles and make sure that those trainers are meeting those principles. And one of the simplest ones actually is, how do you handle loose horses? What is the point of balance? How do horses see? And some of this stuff in this code can be quite interesting even to people that have a lot of experience training and handling horses. So where are we at the requirements again? Where does the rubber really meet the road as far as horse training goes? Well, there's some fairly good requirements here with some fair strength, and that is handlers must be familiar with equine behavior and competent and humane handling techniques, either through training, experience, or mentorship. So that means if you're a horse trainer, you actually have to know what you're doing, which is kind of a shocking statement. It's basic, but it's obviously true. The other thing is that horses must be handled in a manner that does not subject them to avoidable pain and avoidable injury. Why was horse training so important to the SPCA? There's some really good information out there that poorly trained, badly behaved horses tend to have poor welfare through their whole life. And I think we've all seen this. The horse that's had 10 homes in 10 years. So we really all owe our horses a good basic education, because if you don't provide your horse with a good basic education, he is at really serious risk of having poor welfare. Also, horses must only undergo training that matches their physical capabilities and levels of maturity. Another obvious motherhood statement, but if it isn't there, okay, you can't enforce it. And thirdly, that all equipment used on horses must be maintained in good repair and must also fit the horse correctly.